Oh, what the heck? Where'd the cameras go? Oh. Whoops. Alright, there they are.
And welcome to Talking Time with Caffeine, the only podcast where we drink caffeine and talk about stuff.
And my fan is going the fuck off.
Welcome to our Discord experiment, where so far this looks like it's not going very well. For a while, it looked like it was Snick. Maybe when Snick left his dorm room, his phone was like, "Screw you, Snick."
Again, network. Internet.
Give Skype some freaking credit. At least I could freaking use the damn thing if I turned off the webcam. Discord was saying, no, you can't use it at all.
Still better to get to a better network.
Wah.
No, seriously, Skype has a problem where you can't even be understood sometimes at all.
Last week when I turned off the damn webcam, I was fine.
For the most part, but it still did the robotic. I mean, at least we could understand you at all.
Yeah.
All I know is that it gave me bullshit today. It gave me bullshit with Toy Story.
Well, look on the bright side. At least now it's not doing robotic sound, period.
Not very flexible, though.
That's what experimenting. That's what experiments are for, to see what we can do with it, and to see if it's just completely useless. See if we can learn, or see if it goes in the trash.
Schneck, hurry up and graduate already so we know what to deal with this.
Yeah, but maybe you'll see Snick's roommates dancing or something.
Classic Sparrow here, but distracted by something else.
Sparrow. So, besides the Discord experiment, I guess that really is a topic on its own. Mario had a topic talking about yesterday: school grades.
You can start talking about it, unless you want me to start.
So, why? Do you need to type it in type it in?
Well, yeah, but, you know, you can just talk while I do it, I guess. I don't know.
Well, school grade. See, in school, I did decent in school. Am I my video off or something?
No. Your video is
Okay,
on.
that's weird.
Huh. Let's continue.
Alright, anyway, school grades. Middle school, I did decent. I was in an advanced learning class for a while. Then I stopped doing homework, I got bad grades, and went to LD class. Got on Ritalin. Got ADD. And
You
did
can
decent.
get ADD.
I don't know. Maybe I already had it. Oh, I don't know how ADD works. But yeah, got some LD class. Left Butler. Almost failed in TTwC, but luckily, since lab at CTC counted as a full credit, it made up for the English that I failed. So I got the required credits I need to graduate.
Schneck. Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry. I thought you were talking about me for a second. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna fucking end up failing history because, or at least coming close to failing because so far, history seems to be the class I'm doing the worst in overall.
Hold on, damn it.
I don't know if the grade shows it or not, but I feel like it's the hardest class. Simply because I just do not give a fuck about history. Like, holy crap, I don't give a shit. Like, damn.
You don't give a fuck about history?
No. I think it's
well,
fucking...
then I gotta paste something in the chat. I gotta question it.
Question history or question my opinion?
Yeah, I need to question it the only way I know how.
Whatever. But yeah,
I hate history.
I just don't really think...
You hate history?
Why are you posting that in the chat? Why are you posting that in the chat? Well, now your video is just infinitely loading. GG. Anyways. So I guess Nick won't answer me, so... Yeah, I just hate fucking history because I just don't see a point. And because of that, that's going to probably end up being my downfall overall. And the only thing I can do about it is try and keep the grade higher by every time I get a bad grade on something, just fucking redo it, and then there you go. Bada bing, bada boom, I guess.
You hear me now?
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why. It's the stupid... the stupid Discord app trying to connect me to the car, and for some reason the Discord app never works for me. So the browser works better than the app for me, at least. The browser.
That's strange.
The Discord. Okay, so far Discord experiment. The Discord computer app sucks. The browser is much better. So don't use
even though it's technically supposed to be the other way around because Discord app has more features, but apparently it
not for
work.
me. I can't hear, can't see, can't do anything on the stupid app. It's on the computer. The browser connects to me right away.
But anyways, yeah. I don't know about you, but when it comes to school grades, I don't really like it too much because it just fucking makes me feel as though I'm stupid sometimes, and also, I guess teachers use them differently. It's really weird.
Yeah, how does that? I was wondering, how does that curve thing work? They just say we're great on the curve.
The curve? I've never heard of that. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really? Nick, you heard of the curve? You know what that means?
Oh, I just realized I didn't even my mic. Basically, a curve means that if the class average is at a certain rate, then they're going to curve all the grades that can kind of meet like a certain average. Like, say, for instance, a bunch of people, like, say there's 5 people in class, 2 people get 100s, 2 people get, and then, like, 3 people get 60s. The people that got the 60s, they'll raise their, basically, if a curve of 80 is implemented, their grades will be raised to the point to where if their grades can be combined with the people who got hundreds, so that the class average comes out as an 80.
So that affects everyone's grades?
Only the people that scored lower, I believe.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Good thing for people who suck. Doesn't affect people who do good, so...
It sounds kind of weird to me. Like, what's the point?
Let
the people who don't care or don't do anything fail. You know?
I guess. I'm not exactly sure why people implement curves. I guess it's just, maybe it's a no child left behind kind of thing. Maybe it's, teachers just wanting to go easy on kids, but other times teachers might just do it to make their class look good.
Hmm. Well, if the teacher does it to make the class look good, then I guess they're not a really good teacher, huh?
I mean, I'll tell you this much. In freshman year of high school, I got D's on the midterm and final of my Spanish class. Final because there was literally a whole quarter of the test that we did not cover at all during the semester. And despite that, I got A's in all 4 of the quarters themselves because literally the teacher would shower us with bonus points if we participated.
Wow, that's crazy. What's funny is that one of my English classes, they can shower you with bonus points, but only if you do certain things. Like, it's mainly with clothing, where if you wear a certain color clothing, for example, on Friday, I don't know if it matters what grade you're in, but actually, no, I think it's school related. I don't know. If you wear like a school related shirt on a Friday, then you can get what's called a Schwabi dollar, and the reason why there's Schwabi in the name is because my teacher's name is Miss Schwab.
Miss Schwab.
Yeah,
like
something else.
Like the earwax thing.
Oh no! My sister has a good one. When she was in high school, she had an old lady English teacher who ended up retiring. Her name was Miss Droogie, but it was spelled to where a lot of kids said it as Miss Druggy.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Oh, another thing that was amazing. My health teacher in junior year, he noted how he knew a teacher called Richard Seaman.
Oh no.
Yeah, so, well, I'm pretty sure you know what Seaman is, but giving that Dick is a nickname for Richard, the one time he would always start cracking up was when the announcements would say, Dick Seaman, please come to the main office. Dick Seaman, please come to the main office.
Oh my god. Get a fucking name change ASAP.
Too bad he change his last name or first name, I guess.
Sounds like a fucking disaster.
At least some girls had the excuse to change their last name when they get married. I had that excuse. And it's like, I'm taking my wife's name.
No, it's funny. It's just like what AVGN said in his Dick Tracy review. His dad tells him, can't you just call him Richard? And I'm thinking, how is Richard short for Dick? No one goes around saying Dickard.
Well, I had the same problem with my dad's name. His name was William. And when people called the phone call, people were asking for, hey, is Bill there? I'm like, you got the wrong number. Nobody's named Bill here.
By the way, Drew Alloway moment, that sucks.
And I used to hang the phone up all the time. My dad just always calls, like, hey, is Bill here? Like, sorry, no one named Bill here. I hung the phone up, like, because I did not know Bill was short for William.
Wow. But anyways, as I was trying to say, though, so...
It's like Jim, and how is Jim and Jimmy short for James?
What AVGN says, at least Bill and Will rhyme and Jim and James start with a J.
Thanks for that interruption.
That's what we do now.
What? Okay.
We interrupt each other now.
Okay, anyways, as I was trying to say for the second time now. So, yeah, my teacher basically can shower people with these Schwabi dollars, and you turn them in at like the end of the semester. So if you really wanted as many of those fucking Schwabi dollars as possible, you'd have to fucking hold a ton of those little tiny pieces of paper until the end of the semester to turn them in. And you wanna know what fucking sucks? I wanted to turn in whatever I actually did end up earning, except I couldn't because the last week of the fucking semester I got, well, the last couple weeks. No, the last week. Last week of the semester, I got the flu, so I couldn't even be there to fucking turn them in. So I now have like a bunch of fucking pieces of paper that are completely worthless. But then again, I could try turning them in at the end of this semester to see if the teacher catches me or something. Also,
so they don't roll over.
I don't know. I mean, you could probably lie about it as long as she doesn't make it like an obvious difference between the two semesters. But then there's also oh fuck, what was I gonna say? Okay, Schwabi dollars and something else. Oh, bathroom passes. For some reason, she has bathroom passes. Also, fuck bathroom passes that make you limit how many times you can go for a certain amount of time. That's fucking horseshit. Don't treat us like fucking children. Seriously, goddamn. Anyways, we have fucking bathroom passes, and depending on how many we have left by the end of the semester, we can turn them in and have that for bonus points as well. So not only do we have Schwabi dollars for bonus points, but now we also have these bathroom passes. So it seems like that it would just be best not to use any of them to get the maximum amount of points possible. And as of recent, there's now an extra credit worksheet that we can do where coincidentally it involves a play that's in my school that I have to see anyways, because in my theater class you're required to see a play per semester. One per semester. So, like, literally you're required to. If you don't, then I think you failed the class. So, there's that. And what's even worse about this semester in particular is the fact that, well, they're supposed to have pre-shows. Last semester they had a pre-show. This semester, no, they don't. And by pre-show... Nice. By pre-show, I mean you get a free show because you're in a performing arts class, and you can see the show before its final production. And the only catch is that you have to do a survey at the end, but that's about it.
Puppy.
What is that? Is that the baby
Puppy.
As a baby?
Yes, sir, it is.
Wow.
Get the fan service going.
But yeah, coincidentally, it correlates between two different classes, so I'm getting extra credit as long as I do the fucking worksheet. But now I'm gonna have to pay $5 before the doors. No, $5 before the show starts, and I don't know how much for when the show does start. So yeah,
So yeah, that would talk about grades. Is that?
Was that it?
I just wanted to say, you said you had to see a play as a part of a semester.
Yeah.
Every semester. Well, two things like that happened with me. In my band class, my band teacher says, "Oh, anyone who goes to see the jazz concert this Thursday night or whatever, gets extra credit." I didn't really need it, but he was really urging people to come. So, and my ma hears about it. She's like, "Oh, why don't we go see it?" So I tell my ma, "Yeah, let's go see it," not telling her about the extra credit. So my ma goes to greet the band teacher. She's like, "Oh, both of us are here." And she's like, "Did he tell you he gets extra credit for this?" And my mom's like, "No, he didn't." She didn't think anything of it, but she did point it out to me.
Did it matter whether or not you mentioned it?
Nah.
Oh.
So, and the second thing was actually in college last semester. So I was in an online media studies class, which was typical, just read some online articles and comment on them, do assignments. But then one assignment having to do with art caught me off guard.
What was that?
I had to actually go to an art gallery, look at a piece of art, examine it, see what it looks like, then take a photo of it using an iPhone, take it home, look at the photo hours later, and see how it compared to actually seeing the real thing.
And write opinion about it, write an essay about it.
Not really an essay, like maybe like a 1-2 page assignment.
Is that longer an essay or same length as an essay?
Well, in way I see it, an essay is like freaking 5 to 10 pages. But yeah, I had to travel all the way to an art gallery on my own, no less, because this is university. Thank God I had access to Yale.
Apparently, we have a guest star on Mario's camera.
Well, thank God I have access to Yale, because I was able to ride a shuttle there, and they have a free art gallery.
Cool. Are you gonna go to Yale to get your master's degree?
I'm probably gonna go broke before I get that master's degree, but
or doctor, like we call Dr. Snick. Get your doctorate.
It's
Dr. Snick.
Though it's funny because the art gallery is literally completely free. The one time I was threatened with paying cash was when I made the foolish decision to bring caffeine with me, and obviously in an art gallery that's not allowed. So
caffeine's my gimmick.
But they told me to put it inside, either finish it outside and throw it away, or put it in a locker. I chose to put it in a locker, and technically you have to pay a quarter to get access to a locker. But
a quarter?
Yeah, but now here's the catch. When you open up the locker, you get your quarter back. And the thing is, I didn't even have a quarter on me, so they just gave me one of a couple of quarters they had behind the desk and just told me, "Oh, bring it back when you're done."
It's pretty much it's a free locker.
Yeah.
God, I wish all lockers were like that. Usually, most lockers at like amusement parks, you have to pay like a $3 fee or $5 fee to even use it.
Yeah, that's what me, my dad, and my sister did at Blizzard Beach. Because my mom was not going to be there, but still, it was worth it to put our shit in a locker. I couldn't get any photos myself. Then again, it was a water park, so I would have destroyed the phone.
Yeah, they haven't made the waterproof iPhone yet, or waterproof iPhone yet.
I mean, well, there are some waterproof phones out there. Like, Angry Grandpa had one before. Literally, Angry Grandpa, he's like, "Oh, this phone is indestructible." He throws it into a glass of tea. And then Pickle Boy's like, "Oh, it's waterproof, not indestructible." And then Angry Grandpa's like, "No, it's indestructible." And then he grabs his freaking axe and he hacks it to death.
They must have had money come in from their things, right?
Probably. They get millions of views. They had money.
Like either from AdSense or from Patreon or something.
I don't think they have Patreon. Well, the thing is, they get money from YouTube videos, and they actually work real jobs. Like, from what I understand, Pickle Boy works as a webmaster.
Nice.
And I think Angry Grandpa had a retirement pension of some kind.
Yeah, but both them and Psycho Dad able to throw stuff all the time. They must have had.
Yeah, well, Psycho Dad was like the same thing, except Psycho Dad was like entirely scripted.
But still, like, oh, time to buy a new Sega or new computer for the next segment I'm going to destroy. Okay.
I mean, I'll tell you this much: I must have really hurt Pickle Boy to let Angry Grandpa destroy a Nintendo Switch.
Could you do that? Could you destroy all your stuff if you could afford to replace it?
I could barely. I never even mustered up the courage to snap a disc. What would make an iPhone or a Nintendo Switch easier?
Like, I'm so rich I can just destroy this. Even they stopped making them. No. People. I wonder if they make fake ones people to destroy.
I mean, I know AVGN did that with Nintendo World Championships.
Yeah.
Like from what I understand, he took an actual cartridge of Top Gun and Legend of Zelda and just swapped the stickers. No, wait, he didn't take the stickers off the actual Nintendo World Championships cartridges. Like, I guess they did repro stickers and they stuck them on the Zelda and Top Gun carts.
Destroy them instead.
Yeah, destroyed them instead.
Because there's more copies of them out in the world.
Obviously.
Let's see.
Then again, it's not hard to make a reproduction card, but I don't know if they can do it in the same color.
Speaking of grades, I remember one of my great things in college.
Yeah.
I was taking math class, and I was acing everything. All the homework assignments, aced them. All the tests, aced them. Until the final test. And I somehow, even though I aced all the tests before, on the final, I got a fucking D. Which brought my GPA down, that class, from the A to a B. For one final test. I was hoping to get my A's. I can get my entire GPA up, because at that time I was failing college, and I needed to get my GPA up, so I needed to balance out. I needed an A to balance out the F, so to balance out a little bit.
Yeah.
But nope, I only got a B, so it only bounces up to a D.
Hey, not to be rude, I'm sorry that I had a huge interruption for a while there, but what did I miss?
I don't know.
I was talking about how the stupid math class I had, I pretty much I got all A's, and then final was a D, and only got me up to a B. So brought me down deep. And then Sticker was talking about. God, my memory's bad as yours now.
Yeah, before episode 18, I'm gonna have a sign on my door saying, well, when I put it on there, it should say, "Doing a podcast, please do not bother me," or something. Or better yet, just have one of those hotel signs that you put on the doors. It's like, "Do not disturb." Just put it on my doorknob.
But then they'll do that. Then they'll pull the "my house, my rules." Results.
I don't care. I have a fucking responsibility. And yeah, some people will probably say, "Oh, well, why didn't you kick him out?" Because I didn't.
That's what my parents all the time.
Important.
Like "my house, my rules."
Yeah, my brother apparently printed out fucking ADOT papers. I don't know if ADOT is like a state-wide thing or not, but...
Oh, ADOT. I think you said adoption papers.
No! What the fuck?
You're like, "Hey, Mario, guess what? You're getting a niece or nephew. I'm adopting."
What the fuck?
Like, hey, Mario, meet your new niece and nephew. I just adopted them.
What the hell? Well, anyways, yeah. It's supposed to be for, like, a driver's license application, and I'm just like... I'm thinking to myself, he printed this out for me? I'm not even ready for this shit. Because I don't have fucking insurance,
I've
but...
never been ready for it.
Ready or not, here it comes.
I mean, I guess he was printing it for himself, but he figured, might as well print it for him too. And yeah, now I have these fucking papers, and I guess my brother gave me this piece of paper that says, it says on the top in bold, "Legal Guardian Certificate for under 18 license/permit applications. Check one of the boxes that applies to your relationship with the applicant." Oh, okay, so literally this whole fucking piece of paper might as well just be for the parent. Okay, well then this paper seems mostly useless to me.
it's useless anyways because you're not under 18 anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. So whatever.
You're like,
But I'll take a closer look at it later because I'm not gonna
you're
look
like,
at it anymore.
like, brother, I need an adult paper.
I need an adult to adult. Yeah, I'll take a closer look at it after the podcast. It's not supposed to take priority.
You no longer need your parents to sign stuff for you.
Huh? I don't need... What? Oh.
You no longer need your parents to sign stuff for you. You can sign it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're a big boy now.
Well, the sad thing, though, is that I can't really say I'm a big kid now. Because I'm not a kid. I don't know. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Continue what you were saying.
Well, that's pretty much. I think I pretty much said what I was saying.
Oh, okay then. Let's see. I'm not really sure what specifically you were saying, so I can't exactly tie into
okay.
something. All I know is that you got like a high grade, and then you got a low grade on a final, and it brought you overall to a B. That's all I know.
Yeah, and I was hoping, because at the time, I'll replay this part too. I was hoping at the time, since I was failing college at the time, it was back in the early 2000s, before I quit altogether, that I get used to A to balance out the F I got before. You know, bounce my GPA up to a C.
Yeah.
But since I got the B, it didn't bounce out the F. It bounced out a D. It bounced out a D, but it bounced out the F, which I needed to get rid of. So that really didn't help my GPA that much at all. And eventually, I lost my my grant I had. I had some government grants, but they're only good if you can maintain like a 2.0 GPA, and I wasn't doing that. So buy money, buy free college money. And even at community college in the county, college is expensive.
I thought college in general was supposed to be expensive. Because, hey,
well, it is,
student debt loans for the win, am I right? Ha, 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 ha.
This is why I want to get loan.
It does depend.
Yeah, sorry.
It does depend on what kind of school you go to. Some online only, which are the cheapest because you don't have to pay room and board or any shit like that. Then there's community colleges, which are 2 years only. You can only get an associate's degree, and generally you're expected to transfer over to a big boy college where you can finish up and get a bachelor's degree.
That's what I was at. And where I was going, it's cheaper if you're living in the county that the school is in, you get cheaper tuition. If you live out of the county, it's more expensive. If you live out of state, it's even more expensive.
Well, that's the thing. There's public universities and there's private universities. Public universities they're basically state funded. Like they get the state gives them some money, and if you live in state, you get an even bigger discount. See, I went to a state school, so I got things relatively cheap, all things considered.
So you go to school where you live?
Yeah, in the state I live, yes. My sister, on the other hand, went to a private university, which are entirely funded by tuition. And as expected, they are a shitload more expensive. To provide an example, without scholarships or any bullshit like that, one semester for my sister is... Well, actually, 1 year for my sister is worth more than my entire bachelor's degree.
Damn.
So what's the point of a private college then, if it's too expensive?
Probably connections.
Well, aside from like Ivy League schools, in most cases, unless it's a school you really like if you're just going to a school just because it's a private university and not because you like it, unless it's Ivy League, you're basically wasting your money.
What's Ivy League?
Like
I mean, like
Yale,
Harvard, Yale, Cambridge, Oxford.
basically all the classic names when you think college.
I think the point in going to those schools is to get the connections they might give you from people that have those schools too.
I'll tell you one thing: after going to the States, you get pretty decent connections regardless. So.
All I've heard about college when I'm trying to look up stuff is how it's so bad because of student debt. Is student debt really that big of a problem for you guys, or
yes.
was it for you?
Not for me.
I didn't go to school. I went to community college and paid it out of my own pocket.
I would say debt's not that big a problem for me, just simply because I don't really have much other expenses. Like, I plan to stay at my house. I'm not moving out, and I don't drive. But even if I did drive, there's not going to be that much added debt.
I guess it depends on what your loan is. Mostly, it's people take out loans and how much they take out and how fast they can pay it back.
I mean, what helps matters with me is the fact that I got enough grant money for my senior year that my dad just paid the remainder of the money I owed out of pocket. So I only really have loans for 3 years.
Damn.
So,
yeah, my parents could barely afford community college, let alone state college.
Yeah, my parents sure as hell ain't gonna spend any fucking money on college because, well, they're not in two great jobs, so.
Like, be like, hey, can I get the, hey, Phoenix University or something, wherever you're going, or Colorado University, can I get the I'm a podcast technical producer grant or scholarship?
Yeah, right. Hey, can I get a YouTuber grant? Do you have over 1,000 subscribers and have this amount of watch time? No. No grant for you! Get out of my office!
Actually, you say yes, technically, on the channel I control.
Oh.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am in 1998.
I'm a manager, but do you own it? Well, I'm a manager, so I could delete it, I think. Oh. Shit, we gotta look at the books. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking. Ugh. I don't know. It just really seems like that. For me, college would just not be worth it overall, especially since I already hate the fucking mandatory school system as it already is. I'm probably going to end up hating college if I ever went to it, because I probably would have student debt, for one. I don't know how bad, but I'd have it. And two, the fact that you have to still take classes like fucking mandatory school. It's basically, like, to me, it's basically mandatory school, except you're paying for it now.
If anything, if you do go to school, for you, I'd recommend either a community college, so maybe you can learn more about video things, or a technical school.
Well,
Well,
I mean, community college just still makes you do other classes, right? Like math and science, they still do that?
You don't have
Well, then again...
Technically, if you're not planning to graduate, you don't need to take those classes. But if you take the classes you need to learn stuff, take those classes, I guess.
Well, I think that's more for, like, training for a job. Like, the way I was explained was that, if you went into a job and your employer hired you, but found out that you weren't good at Microsoft Office, they could tell you, hey, go to this community college, learn Microsoft Office, and then come back and work. then that's a different story.
Like maybe go there and learn some more stuff about video editing or whatever it is you do, or producing, and you can learn new tricks that you don't know about, or maybe you already know about them. You're like, I already know this stuff.
I suppose.
Bye.
I suppose, but I feel as though it would just be a better. Oh yeah. Also, I thought someone else would say this already, but hi, Hauser.
Hi, Hauser. I'm Matt.
Anyways, I just feel like it would just be an overall better deal to just straight up go to a trade school, because, I mean, it's pretty much up my alley, because I was thinking in the past, oh, college is this magical thing where you go there, choose whatever classes you want to take, and you don't have to take all these other classes that I don't like. And then it's like, oh, no, that's not how it works. But then I hear about trade school, which is literally what I originally thought college was. And I'm like, oh, okay, so there is something like that. Cool. Sign me up.
Almost the same. Really, I think it's almost the same. It might be a little different, but I think community college and trade schools are almost similar things.
Well,
to me at least. I mean, I went to a CTC. I guess CTC was a trade school.
I mean, I suppose.
But even though I didn't follow that trade.
I suppose unless you were looking to get into a really specialized field, like commonly known with colleges, a doctor. For a doctorates, I get. Wait, doctorates are correlated with doctors, right? Pretty sure they are.
Yeah. So, hey, Matt, real fast. How were your grades in school? Good, bad, or average? But go on. He's muted. All right. I guess.
Sorry, there's like fucking yelling going on in the background. I'm trying to get whatever's going on to stop, or at least move to a different part of the house, because it's like. It sounds as though it's right outside my door, practically, or at least near my door. So,
start live streaming outside in the backyard.
Yeah, I have barely any light unless I want to use my iPhone's flashlight.
You like subs? Start building your YouTube studio in the garage or something like that.
If I had a garage, I mean, my old house had a garage, but this one, there's only a shed. And it's already filled with tools, so... makeshift garage? I don't know.
Maybe
Alright, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Maybe if I ever win the lottery or something. Hey, Booksaurus. Just thumb it up. Just kidding. Anyways, if I ever win the lottery, I can, like, build the Talking Time with Caffeine YouTube studio. Like with the money.
I even got on my... Oh, oops. I fucking... Apparently I unmuted Discord and thought, oh, people can hear me through OBS. But no, it's now I just cut in out of nowhere. Well, anyways, so when I went out my room to try and rectify the situation, either... They just sounded like they were closer than I thought, or by the time I got out, they already moved. So I don't know. I'm just gonna ignore it until it gets worse or it fixes itself. I think it fixed itself though.
So anybody else have anything to say about grades?
Well, I was told that.
Or school stuff in general?
I was told that apparently your grades, like your current grades, quote-unquote, don't matter until the end of the semester. Because apparently it's like, oh, if you apply for a job, or I don't know what specifically it was said, but I think it's jobs, but anyways, oh, if you apply for a job, then they're only going to look at grades from last semester. They're not going to look at your current grades. So it's like if you have all your classes in D's, for example, then they won't even, or employers wouldn't even see that. They just see whatever you got last semester. So for all they see, you could have like
Yeah.
A's last semester and have all
Yeah.
D's this semester, and it wouldn't matter until the end
Yeah.
of the
Also,
semester.
I think grades might affect if you get scholarships too. If you get good grades, the college, if you're going to college, obviously, like oh, he gets good grades. Let's give him money.
Isn't it GPA? I thought
Yeah.
it was GPA.
GPA grade, same thing.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Yeah, GPA is your grade average. Grade point average. That's what GPA stands for.
Oh,
Your
well,
grade
that's
point
weird.
average.
Oh, okay. Well, when you say it that way, that makes sense. Because, like, we had a thing recently where people made us go in the media center or the computer lab or whatever people call it, and it's like, hey, we're going to make you do this thing so then you can know what college you should go to. And they were talking about GPAs, and they seemed to describe GPAs as if it was a completely separate thing. Either that, or I guess I just didn't know what it was, so it sounded like it was a completely different thing. Because I figure it was just like an end-of-the-year thing, but I guess not.
Yeah, you know that. You know what that stood for?
I didn't even know what it was, to be honest. Like,
It's-
period. Like, I didn't know anything about it.
Real fast. This podcast is brought to you today by Pro Air and Advar, because it's causing me to breathe and survive and continue the podcast.
Wait, hold on. Here we go, boys. Pro Air. I don't know, I'm being stupid.
Hey, we both have the same thing. We're both using it.
Yeah, I have asthma as well, though luckily it doesn't affect me in Arizona, because well, not Arizona, Phoenix. I think it affects me in Flagstaff, but I haven't been there in a long time, so I don't know.
This is my new one. It's a powder one.
Powder?
Yeah,
The
I had to
fuck?
learn how to use it today.
Well, does it do the same thing as Pro Air, or does it do something different?
Yeah, well, this is a every 4-hour one. This is a every 12-hour one.
Oh, you have to do yours periodically. Mine, for me, I've always had to do it when needed, not periodically.
Like so we'll go there. It loads. Open it up, and inhale.
And also, Vandalia, are we selling out? Because Pokesaurus wants to know.
Only if they're offering us. Well, I guess it's not. Remember, it's not selling out if you actually use the product. It'd be selling out if Snick was advertising Hershey bars, and if he hates chocolate, that would be selling out. Or if Mario was advertising peanuts or advertising Shadops 3, then he'd be selling out. If you like the product and use it, it's not selling out. Only if you don't like it and never going to use it. But you take the money anyways. That's selling out, in my opinion, at least.
Huh.
Do you agree?
I suppose, yeah. It sounds right to me.
What about you, Snick? You agree with that?
Sure.
Yeah, like I said, if Snick was shilling Hershey bars on the podcast, and he'd be selling out since he doesn't like chocolate.
Or a lot of other things, apparently, because there's like fucking 10 other things that Schnick doesn't like.
Now, I'll be right back. I gotta gargle this out because I'm not keeping it in my mouth for some reason.
Wow, that sounds a lot more complicated than using Pro
And
Air.
I'm trying to charge this damn.
Right. I guess we're down to school stuff. We can go. We talk about like the game, the other topics on the channel, games and stuff.
Alright, I'll see if I can think of anything else to say. Oh, yeah, so, this has been mentioned before in the podcast, but at my old high school, or Brandon's high school right now, their grades are really fucking retarded. Like, not my history. My theater teacher thinks it's retarded to have this percentage thing when teachers are putting in the grades instead of having a score thing. I don't know how else to explain that because I'm not sure what that means exactly, but yeah. Oh, like he was saying, oh, you have 300 points on this thing and you have this percentage. How does that calculate compared to things that cost like 100 points or whatever? But anyways, no, my school was even more, well, my old high school was even more fucking retarded because they used a number system. Wow, so fucking great because it's like 1 through 4, 1 being worst and 1 being best, or in other words, 4 exceeding expectations. So you get an average of 3 if you do everything right. And
also, think of numbers. Also, I never understood how an A in a normal class is a 4.0, but an A in an honors class is a 5.0.
I think it's because the content is just overall harder, or it's just like worth more points for it if you take
I guess,
honors.
I guess would that make a B a 4.0, or is a B still a 3.0 in honors class?
I couldn't tell you.
And yeah, I never took honors really.
I don't really see I never really saw the point in it.
I wasn't in advanced reading 5th and 6th grade. I was in an advanced reading class. I was like in the 6th grade level in 5th grade, and a 7th grade level in 6th grade until I stopped doing homework and they kind of dropped me down by default. I don't know if I just stopped doing homework. I just did. I was lazy. I still am lazy.
What's weird is that one of my English teachers, I think it was my English 4 teacher, but one point this semester, she's like, oh, the only way you can get into an honors English class is if you turn in your work on time, and that's it. I'm assuming you have to do like decent on the stuff too, but overall turn them in on time. And I'm just thinking to myself, really? That's it? If that's the case, how come I've never been in an honors English class? Because I've turned shit in on time. What the
if
fuck?
that was easy, if that was all it took to get the honors class, everyone would be in honors class. Like, turn your homework in time. Oh, you did it. You're in honors class. Hooray!
You'd be surprised at how many fucking idiots there are in high school, dude. Like, holy crap.
Actually, can I say something?
What?
Yeah.
Anytime in high school, when the teachers would go around trying to get us placed in other classes, literally everyone except me asked to be in an honors class.
Were you accepted?
I always just said, put me in what you think I deserve.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah. But everyone else, regardless of how well they were doing, usually the people who were failing probably emphasized it more. They wanted to be in honors classes.
It's funny. Back then, I didn't like it because I was. But now, with me wanting to learn new stuff, I know I might have liked it. You know, probably be harder. I'm all into learning now. Maybe more than I was back then. So maybe I would have enjoyed it.
Honestly, you'd end up learning more off the internet. Well, this is according to people, but I think it would probably be somewhat accurate. You could learn more on the internet than public school or mandatory public school.
Unfortunately for me, back then, the internet wasn't... Actually, the internet was a thing, but wasn't the thing it is now. Like, you know, it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
To the internet until I already graduated high school.
Yeah, like apparently you can just get a fucking equivalent piece of paper to a high school diploma over the fucking internet, because that's the thing.
Like a GED.
Yeah. Which is something I never knew, but not gonna need, because I'm gonna fucking make sure I pass this year, because if I'm not, then I think I'd probably drop out. Literally, I'm serious. If I don't fucking graduate this year, I would literally consider dropping out, because I don't want to take any more fucking years than the minimum amount. If I have to take one extra year, then I'm just gonna fucking walk out and just like, no, fuck you, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, my friend had to be in school. My one friend had to be in school. I'll talk about him. I'll say his name, but he literally had to be in school for 15 years. Because
what? 15?
Yeah,
Holy
the average
shit!
13 is the average. K through 12 is 13 years. He got held back in kindergarten, and that's how I met him. He got held back in kindergarten. I met him, and then he got held back again in 10th grade or 9th or 10th grade. So I surpassed him. So even though he started school a year before me, he graduated a year after me.
Wow. My question is, how do you get held back in kindergarten? Like, damn. That's... I don't even know how you do that.
Either social, maybe social, I guess kindergarten's more social, I guess, anything else, I guess, so either grades or social.
As an autistic person, I imagine that I would have been held back from kindergarten, but apparently I did fine enough to get by.
Yeah.
I don't know specifically what I did.
This was the early to mid 80s, so I guess things were different back then.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, like, I was pretty fucking bad in elementary school. Like, I was so bad in elementary school that I didn't even fucking learn, like, multiplication and division until middle school. That's how bad it was for me. I guess it's partially having to do with the fact that I didn't care enough either, but I did some really stupid shit back then, so I don't know. It could be me not caring, it could be just my disability at the time, but I fucking know it now, but I can't do it in my head because I just can't do math in my head.
Yeah, Matt says school is for fools.
Yeah, I wanted to say that kind of has some truth in my opinion. School is for fools. Because you can't seem to learn shit past middle school, really. I mean,
yeah, really.
The irony.
If someone,
really after
what?
I say it's really after middle school and elementary school you learn the basics, and maybe middle school too. In high school, you just basically all you're doing is reapplying the basics to what you already learned.
For me,
in high school.
For me, it pretty much, like in high school, for me, it pretty much just seems like they just recover what you were already taught back then, except the, well, not except, yeah, they just seem to recover things that you learned in middle and well, maybe not elementary, but middle school at least. Mainly because I'm assuming that the school system already knows, hey, these kids aren't gonna fucking remember this shit, so why not just put them through it again?
Basically, high school math. Basically, it's, hey, remember how you used numbers before? Now we're going to add letters to it.
I thought they did that in middle school, too.
Oh, I didn't start.
Because I think they introduced that for me in middle school. If not, then
well, I think maybe 8th grade, maybe 8th to 9th grade, I learned algebra. Again, it was different. Maybe it was a different time. 90s, 80s, 90s, different time, different learning skills. Before Common Core stuff.
Yeah. It's really fucking stupid. Oh, and also, what did you mean by the irony, Schnick?
You say that you stopped learning in middle school. Well, we all know our favorite middle school.
The middle school Schnick.
But no, for real, I literally feel as though that you barely learn shit in high school that's really important. Like, at least elementary and middle school, you have the necessary basics to, you know, live day-to-day life properly, like fucking basic math, English, and, well, history can go fuck itself for all I care, because I still think history is useless.
No. History, love history. History is awesome.
Why, though?
I always like history.
At least with English, you know, the basic English classes, they actually fucking teach you how to English properly. And for fucking science, at least they give you basic concepts. History, what does history do? It just gives you, like, basic knowledge of what happened in the past. Yeah, because you're going to apply that to day-to-day life.
we are English. We can speak English or speak American. So, but screw that. We don't know how to talk English. So some of us do. Maybe some of us need English to talk. But
well, you know what's really weird though? I don't know why, but all throughout high school, I swear to God, almost everybody I've heard trying to read text off a piece of paper, they had a hard time doing it. And me, I always feel like I'm a fucking master compared to them. Like, wow.
Maybe
like,
they're all dyslexic or something. Dyslexic.
Like, common mistakes I see people doing is pausing to try and figure out what a word is, saying the wrong word, like literally. Wow. Okay.
Sometimes I think I'm numbered dyslexics.
Like, literally, they'll read text, and you'll be reading along, and they'll say a word that's not even there. I just don't really understand how that happens. Like, I thought I would be like that, but no. I'm apparently more skilled.
And apparently, we're watching a Mario video on Snick's channel.
Oh. Wonderful.
I think it's a Mario video. Yeah, that's a Mario video. Even though the camera on the thing isn't. Oh, there it goes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also, going back to history class for a moment, there's also the argument I've heard people make where they say that school doesn't really teach you history. They only give you, like, certain pieces of it. And when they mean certain pieces, like, not everything that they show you. Like, if there's a specific timeline that they're showing, or time period, there we go. If they show you a time period, they don't show you everything specifically, or, like, well, I don't know how it goes specifically. I think it's more of they don't teach you it correctly. Yeah, that sounds more right. Yeah, I think it was the argument where they don't teach you it correctly. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with that statement, because there's an old saying, I forget where I heard it from, but it goes, history is written by the winners. And so you never really hear the loser's perspective of history. Like we all know World War II, how America's awesome, and that we never hear and how Germany is evil and stuff. Nazis were evil, but we never hear the Germans. Since the Germans lost, we never really hear their side of it. Like, on this channel I watch now, plugging here for a second, extra credits history. They just did two things where they did the same time period. One where they concentrated on the Roman side of it, like on the Emperor Justine, and then the other side. Then a few months later, they did another side of the same time period where they were fighting. They were going to the Persian-Iran era of that king who was fighting against Justinian, and they showed his side of the story. So now you see both sides of the story instead of just one side.
Yeah, and meanwhile, when I was taught World War II, because World War II is the Nazi era, or at least the fight of getting rid of Nazis. But anyways, like, literally, they taught you that time period in, like, I'm sorry, I just paused because I'm starting to realize how many times I say like, and it's really annoying me now. Anyways, so they show you an overall kind of thing, not specific sides. I mean, it would probably take a longer time to go specific sides, but, like, could you... I mean, we're America, so couldn't they cover America's side? I mean, then again, nothing really much happened other than just, America just joined in the middle of the war. And then, what?
Yeah, it's weird. A lot of people opinion the war didn't start until recently. Everyone, especially Americans, the war didn't start until 1941 or 1942 when we joined it. But in Europe, the war started in 1939, maybe before, and in Japan, the war started back in 1933 when they invaded China in 1933. So,
yeah.
So it depends on your perspective when the war, like World War II, started, and that's why different people's perspective has different histories.
Yeah, that's the weird thing.
Of course, I also like prehistory too, like the dinosaurs and the prehistoric mammals. That's I guess more like more science and history, more science and history mixed together. Like dinosaurs are awesome, and so are the Carboniferous period and the Permian period, all that stuff. It's not written history. They call it prehistory for written words and stuff. And plugging my geological history podcast episode from season 3.
Wow.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
I love.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I love history. Precambrian, Cambrian, Ovicerus, the current period, the internet history, whatever. History is awesome to me.
Well, whenever I talk about me hating history, I always refer to what school shows you. You know? If it's like if it's history with the internet, then that's a different story for me. Like, I mean, even then, it's like, yeah, it's interesting, but I don't really think it's necessary to know how to use the internet. Because I guess, for me, I tend to focus more on what can I do? You know, like, what kind of skill can I learn? Or something like that. That's the approach I take, and obviously history isn't really going to do much. And hell, theater and digital photography, both of those classes had a section in the beginning where you had to go through the history of said subject, and it's like, what the fuck?
I think that's stupid. Only, I mean, maybe that'd be useful if you're learning how to use like an old-time camera or something. Like, this is how you use it.
But here's the problem with digital photography. You use modern digital cameras, and the old cameras aren't digital, so no touchy. So what's the point? Like
I actually had when I took photography for 2 weeks at TTwC in college, they actually had to use a real old time camera with film and stuff, and I had to learn how to develop the film and then develop the pictures in a darkroom.
Yeah, my school actually used to have just a normal photography class where it was basically like that, but the district or someone, I don't remember who, but someone went up to the teacher and was like, "Hey, you can either keep this kind of photography, or you can start teaching digital photography. Which one you want to do?" And my teacher chose digital photography because she thought that it would be more applicable to today's standards, and it would be more useful to pretty much our generation overall and future generations. So that's why she's teaching digital photography, which to me sounds like it makes sense, but then when she goes and teaches us the history of photography, it doesn't make sense why they need to do that, because you don't need to know the history of photography to do digital photography. That's not how it works. What you do need to know is basically some terminology, how to use the equipment, how to use the photo editor, and there you go. It's as simple as that. What is the history of photography gonna do for you? Like, legitimately answer me this question. What is the history of photography going to do for you if you never learn digital photography?
It's gonna teach you that back in the day, people used to sit for 2 hours to take a photograph. Basically, that's all it is.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They had to do that, but Otherwise,
sit still for 2
I
hours,
don't
sit
see.
still there. Be like almost as bad as a painting back then. Like at this rate, why don't just get painted at this rate?
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, they had to use it to at least advance the technology, so I can see it in that stance. So it's not all bad, I suppose. Well, it was bad for them, but not for us.
Like back when computers were the size of a garage, and now they're the size of this thing.
Well, they can be. Like a Pi. If you get a Pi, then you can have a size of a phone computer. I mean, it's not going to be too powerful, but it's something.
Yeah. Then people made the PC, and the world was never the same. Speaking of PCs play games.
I saw an argument between PC Master Race and consoles, and the argument went, oh, well, back then you had to play games on the computer. It's like, okay, but what does that have to do with anything? Like, why does that make a difference exactly? Because, I mean, why are we separating the term PC and console when technically all of them are computers? The only difference is that console, you can't exactly upgrade their specs, and they're just cased in a special shell with special controllers for them. That's pretty much it. And the funny thing is that...
Topic time.
Oh, you're right. Hold on.
I've heard arguments back in the day. Consoles were more powerful than PCs, but now...
Well, back then, yeah. But today, oh hell no. It's a fact that PCs are more powerful. But the downside is that they're more expensive than a console. So,
well, yeah, really, especially if you're up to the max, if you're using the max, like what's the word? Pimping it out.
Yeah, I mean, my main argument with getting a console is that it just seems more cost effective because, I mean, yeah, you have to pay for memberships now, but you know, at least you're not paying $1,000 for it, unless you buy like 3 or 4 of them. But otherwise,
and that's for like people collector. I guess it's more like for collectors like SNCC and the AVGN.
Yeah, I suppose, but I mean, seriously though, it is more cost effective to get a console, right? I mean, I don't know, it just seems like it would be. You could probably, I mean, I could see you getting slightly better specs for around the same price of what the console would be, but if you, I mean, what?
Because the problem with that now is most people have both anyways. Because most gamers are streamers, and most of them use their PC to stream stuff from their consoles.
Yeah. See ya, Pokesaurus.
So they need both anyways. Sorry, bye, Pokesaurus. And like, I've even heard people setting up 2 computer systems and a console system. One, the console system to record and play their games, the console or computer play their games, and the other computer to stream their games from. So that it's like complicated that I'll never understand. Someone took me through it, but yeah, some people were that dedicated to their streaming or gaming. They like 3 or 4 computer setups with 5 monitors.
Wow, I mean, 5 monitors is kind of excessive, you know. Like you don't.
I've seen 3. I have a 2 monitor setup only because so I can talk to you guys on one screen, and watch the chat on the other screen without it overlapping each other.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were using different systems for each screen, then if you have 5 screens for one computer, then you're really overdoing it, honestly.
I think most people I've seen people have 3 screens maybe. I don't know why the third screen is used for.
I'd argue that 3 screens is pushing it, but 2 screens, I guess it's a little more efficient to have 2 screens. 3 screens is just kind of to show off, and then anything past that is overkill. But, you can really get by with 1 screen as long as you know what you're doing, I suppose.
Snick, what's your opinion on consoles and screens and computers?
I think systems are more convenient, but computers, they're more powerful, but I think they break easier.
I do like my laptop since it's convenient. I can carry it around places, and I can't carry it on my desktop.
I guess it depends. I mean, if you're building your own computer and you know what you're doing, then I don't really think it would be that big of an issue. If you were buying a pre-built machine, then I don't think it would be much of an issue either. But if you're inexperienced, I could probably imagine you'd have some trouble. Especially if you're not tech-savvy. If you're not tech-savvy, then you're taking on something more than you can chew.
I always screw this, I'm calling a friend or I'm taking it to the place.
I would like to build my own computer, but I just don't have the money for it.
I would like to learn how to it, but I'm scared that I'll break something and ruin the whole thing. Nope, not taking the chance.
That's the thing. People are really sensitive when it comes to technology. They are afraid to take apart a lot of things, and I kind of fall into that category a little bit, but trying to learn.
Yesterday, you took apart your keyboard. You took apart your
Well, I didn't really take apart my mechanical keyboard. I mean, if I were to take it apart, I'd be unscrewing shit. But I mean, all I really did was just take out keys, and you just pull them. Literally, you just pull them out. It's not too hard.
You took apart your Wii, didn't you?
My Wii, yeah, that's a different story.
Yeah. And you made a whole video about it.
Well, I didn't upload it or edit it, but yeah, I do have raw footage of it, and it sucks.
In my opinion, I was falling asleep, and I was tired, but I'm never really been into the how-to stuff.
Well, for me, I think it's just interesting because, believe it or not, Brandon kind of inspired me to learn this kind of stuff, and I figure, well, why not? If something breaks, then at least I can fix it myself instead of paying fucking money to have someone else fix it.
That's true.
So why not?
I was like to do that too, but even when I was younger and there's no computers were a thing yet, and it's still. I've never been on the mechanical side of stuff. The two left right. Whatever that left-right brain thing is, one's creative and one's logical, one's mechanical, or whatever. I've never been good with my hands, mechanical-wise, even computers or cars or anything like that, or just tools in general. I've never been that savvy with them. I've always been the more of the creative, logical side of the brain. Whatever how the left-right brain thing works, I forget.
I don't know either, but I don't know. For me, I guess there's just something with hands-on that intrigues me, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I like to do video editing, even though I probably lie to myself because, I don't know. But, hey, if I fucking absorbed shit immediately when I was learning it, then, I mean, there's gotta be something going on. But hands-on stuff is kind of my new thing right now. And plus, it's a good way to earn money. That is, if you have money to invest in at the very least. But I mean, as long as you have money to invest in, yeah, I think it would make great money as long as you know what you're doing, or at least have some guide to fix something. I guess the other thing would have to also be learn not to be too sensitive with stuff, because I mean, it just seems as though that everyone is overly sensitive with it, and like I said, I'm guilty of this, and I suppose it's just more of a matter of I don't want to break it, because we have like this vision where technology is extremely fragile, and from what I've seen so far, it doesn't seem to be that fragile, but you know, if you're just fucking abusing the thing, then yeah, you're gonna break it, but you know, you could play rough with it a little bit depending on what the thing is, and it'll still be fine as long as you don't do too much damage. So there's
Snick,
that.
what's your opinion, Snick?
On what?
What we're talking about?
What is it you're talking about repairs?
Yeah, that and left, right brains and stuff.
Left, right brains? I don't get it.
Or like repairing stuff, and how some people are good at and apply. Some people are good at that kind of stuff. Other people aren't good at that kind of stuff. Like,
Oh, I'm not good at that stuff. Not at all. Tried to fix my PS1 after Disney World Quest killed it. Didn't go so well.
yeah, I'm more. You know, I'm lazy. I'm more creative, artistic person than I am a mechanical person.
And keep in mind, that was a very simple issue. All I had to do was take a spindle out and put it back in. Somehow, not even that was a successful repair. That's how bad I am at it.
It says if you're mostly analytical and methodological in your thinking, you're said to have left brain. If you tend to be more creative or artistic, you're thought to have right brain.
Well, is it possible to have both? Because I mean, I do what.
Yeah, I think
do,
so. I think some people can be balanced in both things.
I mean, I do what tend to go on the side of video editing and digital photography, but on the other hand, you know, I can go mechanical when it comes to electronics, or at least I'd like to, and I don't seem to have too many problems with it other than just not having the necessary tools, so maybe I'm both.
Yeah, some people can be like dual, like I guess they're like people that are ambidextrous. Can use both hands equally well. Maybe some people could be brainless or ambithinkuless, whatever that word is.
Oh no.
Ambineurologist.
Well, I'd like to think that, you know, if you want to be good at something, then, you know, just fucking learn how to do it and you'll get there, regardless if you're more artistic or mechanical. The only thing that I feel that would be stopping someone is whether or not they want to go for it in the first place.
True.
I'm not going to say, you know, go jump off a bridge with a parachute and get good at it. I'm not going to say something like that, but, you know, just typical stuff that's not
I guess there's
dangerous,
also the thing that, I guess there's also the thing about some people have to learn stuff. You know, they have to grind, you know, to learn stuff and learn and keep them going. Other people are naturally talented at things.
Well, apparently my natural talent is video editing. Well, I'm not sure how far that would go, but video editing and digital photography. So, like, I don't know why. I just picked that shit up really fucking easily. Seriously, I got, I think, near, if not 100%, on determining what parts of the camera we were going to be using are. That's pretty fucking impressive, if you ask me. And, you know, you look at other things I do, like stuff that I'm required to do, and you see that I'm struggling, especially history. But it's just weird how it works like that, I guess. So,
yeah.
But then,
but I guess
going
back to video games, I guess this is kind of a continuation of what we did a few weeks ago with the DLC thing episode. Well, you should during in the chat in the YouTube, not YouTube
Discord
chat,
server.
The Discord server chat where we talked about. By the way, if you have ideas for the podcast, go to if you're a member of our server, go to TTwC ideas and type your ideas in for the podcast, and we might use them next week or this week if we're around. But you're talking about how, or before the podcast, you're talking about how some of the games were expensive, and they said either keep them that they are or do different things.
No, that's not what I was saying. What I was saying was, would a game company, or no, would a publisher or game developer? Fuck. Okay, wow, I'm messing up. Would a game developer make more money by having more time to make the game and not being restricted by publishers make you more money? Or would the current business practices end up making a game developer have more money?
Well, like, just make it roll fast and then just
Let me reread what I put specifically, because apparently I can't remember what I said.
So like basically make the game roll fast and then did everything just DLC it? Or
well,
box
I mean that's what everyone seems to do.
Well, hopefully, since KH3 had it's 13 years in the making, it's gonna be an awesome game. Literally, it's been 13 years since I made
here's what I said specifically. Would a game sell more if developers had time and less restrictions from publishers, or would they make more money with the current business practices? And then, in a later post, like a few posts after that, I put, I also wonder if more time equals less DLC unless they use DLC to create more content post-release. That's what I said.
The guy has his hand up. I think he wants to answer a question.
The hand in the dark, except I didn't get to show it, but what?
What is your question?
No, you had your hand up.
No, I was just testing this.
Oh, okay.
So, Nick, what's your opinion about that?
About it being the developer and publisher's fault?
No, about... Okay. Let me go back. Would a game sell more if developers had time and less restrictions from publishers, or would they make more money with the current business practices?
Well, I already answered this to you
But not in the stream.
before. Basically, with the current practices, they might make more money short term, but as we work with Star Wars Battlefront and some other games that are like trying to go multiplayer when they shouldn't, people are going to get sick of it and they're not going to buy games no more, so it's going to cause sales to plummet. Whereas with developers having more time and resources to make good stuff, it might not bring more money short term, but if they really make something good that people revisit years later, they'll get more.
Yeah, and hopefully the audience is there for it, the wait. Like I think people are going to wait. People have been waiting for the KH3 games, 13 years in the making. Literally.
And then, do you think that if they had more time, they wouldn't have as much DLC unless they were using it to add more content post-release? Like new content, not just lock it out?
Possibly.
Yeah. So like, I hear you guys talked about stuff before the thing because you always run out of ideas. Like, we already talked about that.
I'll tell you this much. The one trend I cannot stand with modern games is how they feel the need to cut out single-player content, thinking all people care about is multiplayer.
Yeah, because that's the problem with games. It's like, back in the early 2000s, people were more concerned about making stories. And yeah, they had some multiplayer games here and there, but, you know, mainly it was with single-player content-based games, but now they seem to treat video games as more of a social kind of thing only, so they don't have a need to put single-player in it Maybe unless they included a multiplayer option with single-player campaign. Which at that
I'll
point
tell
it
you
wouldn't
this
really be
much.
single-player, it would just be multiplayer campaign.
I would say that FPS games. I would say that FPS games are heavily affected, but truth is they're not. There are quite a few FPS games like Wolfenstein, Doom, Fallout, and stuff like that are heavily single player focused.
Yeah,
But
the last FPS game I was even good at was Duck Hunt.
well, the thing I would say fighting games are the biggest offender. Like I'd say back in the 2000s, fighting games had a huge wealth of single player content. You had Super Smash Brothers.
In the 2000s, in the 90s, Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat in the 90s. So
Well, back in the 90s, it was like basically arcade mode and that's it. But then by the late 90s, 2000s, like home system ports of fighting games were getting a lot more creative. Like you had Tekken, you had Smash Brothers, um, you had the original Dissidia Final Fantasy. There was quite a few fighting games that had stuff for everyone. But now it feels like many fighting games are just cutting down single player content, thinking all people want is multiplayer. In fact, today Amazon had a pretty decent deal on the Steelbook edition of the new Dissidia that just came out. I didn't want to get it. I did not. Because from what I've heard, they took out everything that made the PSP games good. There's no leveling up characters, no collecting equipment, there's not even a story mode.
I think if they can balance out the multiplayer and story aspects of the game, it'd be good. Like Secret Mana, the original for SNES. I know multiplayer is a thing for the remake, but if you had two people, controlling like 2 or 3 controllers, you could literally control all 3 characters at the same time and say they roll together. Multiplayer with a story campaign too, and World of Warcraft. You can work together people without going crazy, stupid people. You can. So Warcraft has a story elements and it's multiplayer too, or MMORPG, and so you can like Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 11. You can work together as multiplayer but still progress a story. So some games can do that, both story mode and use multiplayers, besides just going into killing everybody. Unless you're a PvPer, then that's what they do. They kill fake people. I don't like PvPers.
You know what the sad thing is, though? When it
What?
comes to fighting games using single player, even though there's a lot of people that recognize it, like according to one guy Brandon knows that keeps coming into the chat, who's like an avid Smash Brothers fan. According to him, at least, a lot of people are looking back at Smash Bros. For realizing it's not the perfect gym they thought it was when it came out.
Like the guys obsessed with racing games in your chat.
I am one of those people.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is, the sad thing is, though, like, I actually went on message boards discussing recently released fighting games, including Dissidia, and when people complained about the lack of single player, there's literally some hardcore fighting game players that will literally tell you, oh, you just suck, get good.
We don't want to get good. We want to.
They were saying that because of a lack of single player?
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with skill. That has everything to do with the amount of content in game.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they have that correlation. That's really ignorant.
Well, the people who express the concerns, right? Those kinds of people are trolls. So
Another thing I hate about fighting games is ganking. You know what that term means? Ganking.
I thought that was in games like League of Legends, not like fighting games combos.
I guess that's true, but it's like where you as a max level character go out and kill level 1 characters for the fun of it.
The only thing you could really do is if you just happen to be, you know, synced up with a low-level player, then if you want to call that ganking, I suppose you could. That goes for FPS games as well. But I mean,
you go out, literally go out. You're like level 100. You find a level 2 character, like, and just kill him for the fun of it.
I mean,
I got killed so many times when I was starting out. Awkward silence again.
I don't know what else to say, not to mention it.
I should have muted my Discord microphone sooner because apparently, I don't know why, but it's like a thing with talking time with Caffeine where it's, oh, if I'm interrupted and I don't mute the microphone that I'm talking to you guys with, then all of a sudden you're fully intrigued into what's going on and all the viewers are just going to be confused as to why there's suddenly no talking. Every time.
We're easily just. It's my ADD kicking in. I am easily distracted by things.
What about Schnick? Well, then again, he hasn't really said. Well,
this is the first episode in a long time Schnick has been very silent.
Really?
Well, I guess. I mean, if you're saying in comparison to when he would talk a lot about his past stories, then sure.
I guess Nick has run out of old school Schnick stories.
Well,
school Schnick stories.
Well, I guess we're just not having anything that's related to his stories, so.
True. Let's see. But yeah.
Apparently, Schnick has no. Damn it! I'm trying to hold my mouse so then I can just click without having to reach for the mouse every time because I don't want the fan to go off and have it because it's going off really high. But yeah. Rip people sleeping in the dorm room.
You go into the mill room, not the hallway, but not your bedroom, but the common room.
Well, from what I saw from his dorm room, it didn't really look like there was too many rooms at all.
Is that different from your old room then, where you used to be all the time in that room all the time?
I mean, it could be from what he showed and what I saw. I mean, to me, it didn't really seem like there was too many rooms, if at all. But I don't know.
Like I mean, like last year when he was with the Jerks. Oh, Walter Thicker last year. That's too bad. Almost midnight now, but we started late, so it's not 2 hours already.
Yeah. What were we saying?
We're talking about your...
Talking about what?
Your...
What the hell? It's like you're right about to say it, but then it cuts you out. What the fuck?
Cough. Ooh, the drink. Anyways, back to video games and stuff and multiplayers.
Oh, wait, you were talking about ganking.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I hate that. People gank me. I used to gank all the time. It would turn me off for Warcraft. It would turn me off to play on PvP realms. Even though unfortunately that's where most players are on, I like PvE realms and RP realms. It's a Coke bottle. The Coke, dancing Coke.
Oh yeah. No, it's possessed Coke. Even the power of caffeine wasn't too much for the devil or something.
It's too bad. I wish his laptop computer worked good. Maybe you can take the laptop out to
Well,
the common room, whatever.
well, that would probably be worse than his phone because that would produce a lot more light with the bigger screen compared to a tiny little phone.
Yeah, I used to do my podcast on my back in the day. I used the first 4 episodes before I got internet in my house. I literally did the podcast from my laptop in McDonald's using their
Yeah,
internet.
yeah, I
And that's why
forgot you
that's why
did that.
usually 20-minute podcast episodes back in the day because I did it fast before people. My first few podcasts were outside in the September daylight and on the vents, the cars going by. That's how the podcast started.
Start small and big.
And now look at us now.
Yeah, you got your own house, I think.
Well, pretty much.
What? 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 Ah, no. I don't even know if people can hear that.
Yes.
Oh,
Speaking
fuck
Nick,
no.
speaking of that, how have you grown? Speaking of growth, and how have you grown with your stuff?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, in 2008, I was making shitty slideshow videos where literally all I did was torture characters like how I did in the shitty RPG. Mario knows what I mean, right?
And now,
I can
and now,
imagine, like, were you describing characters, or are you talking about your,
No, literally it was just slideshows where I did shitty voiceovers.
I'm assuming you don't even have those anymore.
Nope. Good thing too.
Huh.
Then I went making Let's Play videos using a camcorder. In 2009, I quit YouTube in 2009 because I was afraid Mommy and Daddy would find out. I come back in 2011. I start using screen recording, albeit in low quality, both video and audio. It's not until 2015 when I started recording in decent video quality, but the audio quality was still a bit to be bettered. It still left some stuff to be desired. Mono audio. Then I get a blue snowball at the end of last year, and now everything's all lovey-dovey.
what about you, Mario? How have you improved?
I'm not really sure when I started my YouTube channel, but I think it was around 2010, around that time. And basically, I started out with making really retarded videos. It was based around gaming, I think, but they were just really, really bad. Both quality and myself. Pretty much, I had this old cell phone. It was a different phone from my old cell phone right now, but this cell phone was my first smartphone, and oh my god, the video and audio quality was not too great at all, and it was shit. Since I had no editing software, period, what I had to do every time I had to take the camera down for a quote-unquote cut, instead, I would basically put the phone camera down and say something like black screen or something like that, and I would tell people that whenever they see black screen, skip around until they see stuff again. And I mean, it's not really a great way to go about it, but as a kid, what are you gonna do? So
Yeah.
then eventually I moved on to an iPod Touch 4th gen because I got it for Christmas one time, and audio and video quality has improved, and this is around the time where I actually ended up doing a Let's Play series that ended up being really popular for a while, like popular as in a few thousand views, and it was a Let's Play of a ROM hack called Pokemon Scarlet Edition, or version, and I think it's version. The whole point of the ROM hack was to basically insert Pokemon from X and Y. Whoa! Oh, okay, thanks, Chair, for making me lose balance. Fuck's your problem? But yeah, the whole point was to put X and Y Pokemon into the game, and not only that, but also pretty much whole new story, whole new areas, and just a huge overhaul of things. At the time when I played it, it was actually an incomplete project, so I was going to end up trying my best to get through as much of the hack as possible, like go as far as I humanly can, and I don't think I reached that point. I think I reached to the point where it would be the general end of the hack, or at least where you're supposed to end at that time. And there was a person that created the ROM hack. His name was PowerWag, and he actually found my videos and surprisingly enjoyed them. I'm fucking shocked that he enjoyed them. And I personally... What?
Like people recognize your genius.
My genius. I think the fact that the creator found my channel was a huge contributing factor to why I have a few thousand views on it. I don't know if it was with popularity as well, but yeah, so I was doing that for a while, and I eventually stopped. I don't know why, I just did. And there was supposed to be a planned version 2, but what ended up happening was he lost the files, and he, at that point, oh, and this is going off memory, so I might get something wrong, but he was going to do version 2, lost files because of a computer issue, and decided that he was no longer going to continue the project at that point. So the project is just dead, pretty much.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact, actually. PowerWhack was originally going to be my, what's the word? He was originally going to be my first collaborator, but that never happened. And Schnick actually ended up being my first collaborator.
I think Hauser was my first collaborator, unless you count the guest stars. Their channels died out soon afterwards. But Hauser was my first collaborator, and then then I made the guest appearance with Lucky Jack 20, and then enter Schnick.
Wow. Well, anyways, continuing my thing a little bit. What?
He's been stalking me ever since.
Continuing my thing a little bit, because there's a little bit more explaining to do for me. So after the whole Pokemon Scarlet phase, I pretty much started to slowly improve. Eventually, I actually got Windows Movie Maker, an older version of it at the time, because my computer was fucking garbage as all hell. But I got an older version of Movie Maker that worked on the computer, and I edited videos there. My difference seemed to be the fact that my videos edited through Movie Maker didn't end up like a lot of other people's. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest quality editing, but it was a lot better because I didn't really use those transitions that everyone seemed to use. And I guess I just came up with, interesting ideas. I don't know if I really did too great when it came to putting it into action, but without much experience, I thought I did well. And then eventually I went into high school, and not only did I get a better phone, which would now be my old phone, but I also got into my video class. And the reason why I chose to get into video class in my freshman year was because at the time it seemed to be the most interesting class that I could choose. So I figured, this could help me with my YouTube, so why not? I took it and I fucking loved the class. Why? Because, well, one good reason is the teacher. He was pretty funny, though later on he would become a little bit more serious. I don't know if that's just him with, beginners trying to reel them in, or if he just changed over the years, but yeah, at the time, for my beginner and intermediate level classes, he was pretty entertaining, pretty funny, and pretty nice teacher overall. A lot better than a lot of teachers I met. And I don't know why, but I guess I just ended up picking up Premiere a lot easier than I would have imagined. Though, we didn't start with Premiere immediately. What ended up happening was, our first project in the class was literally like a picture slideshow. We didn't even get into a video editor yet, just a slideshow picture maker. I think it was called Photo Story. So we used that, and then after that we got into Movie Maker for a while. And then after Movie Maker we graduated into Premiere, and the first time I looked at Premiere, I'm just like, fuck. Didn't you have the same feeling, Vandelia? Like, when you looked at it, you were like, holy hot damn, there's a lot of things here. So, was there something you were going to say?
Live long and prosper.
So, yeah, at first, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you.
This is like you talking, just going on and on and on. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's somewhat important for the backstory.
Okay.
Just I'll try going a little bit faster, but kind of stick with me for a little bit.
Close. All right, go on. I'll try to hopefully I was trying to stir it back to the topic. Since we're kind of we go off topic a lot, but
yeah, sorry. All right, well, at this point, trying to go a little bit faster here. So basically, saw Premiere, was like, holy hell, and ended up picking it up really fucking easily for some reason. I had a little bit of troubles, but
yeah, and that's when you schooled your teacher on it.
No, that would actually be later on in my story. I'll get to that. But for this part of the story, yeah, picked it up really easily, and we also learned camera work, so that was a bonus. And
nothing for me.
Eventually, I moved on to the more advanced classes where we would make videos for the announcements. This would be the first school that I've seen use announcements for videos, though only on Thursdays because special, I guess. And I would do a lot of stuff there. And I'm not going to go into too specific details because it's not really important and I need to go faster here. So moving on, I moved to Phoenix, and I am basically equipped with 2 years of prior experience with video editing. I am pretty skilled. Oh yeah, also, actually I skipped one important detail. The one important detail I actually skipped by accident is the teacher actually gave me a free copy of pretty much every Adobe product, even though I only asked for Premiere, but I figure, well, some of these products are going to be useful in the future, I'm guessing, so why not? And, yeah, I don't have to pay for it ever, so I have forever free version of Premiere on this computer. So, anyways, now I'm in Phoenix, and I'm in this new school, and they have a video class as well. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll take that, because it went so well in the last high school. What could possibly go wrong? And I take the class.
You already learned.
I take the class. I end up learning that I have to do a beginner class again because policy, even though they clearly saw that I was more than capable of going right into an advanced class, but I had to take it, so I took the beginner class, and it was a fucking nightmare because nobody knew what they were doing because beginner, but when I mean nobody, I literally mean nobody. Not even the fucking teacher knew what he was doing. It was a mess. He did not teach worth of fucking jack all. It was bad. It was so bad that when I was trying to learn how to use Final Cut Pro, I already knew how to use a Mac because previous high school had Macs, but I had to teach myself Final Cut Pro. If I asked the teacher the most basic question that I could ask him for Final Cut Pro, he would most likely tell me, "Oh, sorry, can't help you." Like, he would literally sit in his fucking chair and go, "Oh, sorry, can't help you," with this fucking body motion too. It was stupid. So by the end of the year, I ended up fucking learning more than he can ever know, which is really sad. And funny enough, they had Premiere, but I refused to use it because I needed to know Final Cut Pro because I wanted to. Yeah, that makes sense. So after a year doing that, I pretty much never went into that class again because grading was fucking stupid. The teacher was literally fucking stupid. He didn't do his job. Nobody knew what the hell they were doing because of that. And the overall production of fucking announcements is just god-awful. There was really retarded shit I could talk about and go further into it, but I'm not. Oh yeah, also, I got this plaque. I can't really show it to you, but there's this plaque on the wall over here, and it basically just shows that I took video classes for 3 years in a row. So there's that. And then, I mean, at this point, I'm pretty much skilled, though the one thing I never learned from my old high school was After Effects. I don't know why, but I picked up Premiere Pro really easily, but when it came to After Effects, I just fucking lost my
Brandon
groove.
can do After Effects.
Yeah, that's the thing with Brandon. He knows After Effects compared to me. Or am I guys connecting this? Yeah, sorry, we kind of got off topic, and my backstory is somewhat long. I'm trying to go as fast as I can here. So anyways, the only other thing I could really say is that whenever I had to film a video game before I got into high school, I would have to somehow hold my phone up in a certain way, either with my legs in a weird position in my chair, or stack some game cases high enough and just somehow balance the phone and do that. And the only other thing I could really think of doing is digital photography, but that hasn't really helped me with YouTube too much, so yeah.
Except for maybe some good thumbnail maker
I
for
suppose.
my Let's Plays.
I suppose. I mean, I don't really feel as though I know how to use Photoshop to its fullest, because all they really taught us is just how to improve photos, but it's more of like a checklist kind of thing rather than video editing, where it's a whole different art. But that's my long backstory.
But really, before I had you make my thumbnails for my Let's Plays, basically my thumbnails were either Google Images I got off the internet, and then maybe going to Microsoft Paint and writing stuff in there. That was my thumbnails.
Yeah.
If I just didn't use screen capture images. That's what I do before you.
Oh yeah, somewhere around the line I also got a video camera. I forgot to mention that too. Sorry. I didn't think it was important enough apparently, but yeah, video camera.
Yeah.
Alright, so what can we...
Going back to video games then,
for the next 2 minutes or so?
Yeah, that would like how we talked about how our channels have improved quality-wise. What about video games? Do you think they've improved? Either multiplayer or storyline or quality or graphics or anything or platforming since the early days of games.
Oh, what the fuck? Man, can you look at chat?
Yeah, about it.
What the hell even happened?
Think about snake talking?
No, like look in chat. Look at what virals.tv put. Like, it's, I don't think it's inappropriate, it's just, what the hell.
I see nothing.
That's really
Where's this at? Beginning?
No, the YouTube, the live stream chat.
Oh, sorry, I'm on top chat. So.
I see.
So anyways, so what was your question again? Sorry.
We talked about how we've improved and stuff, our channels.
Yeah.
You think, what video games, do you think they've improved in multiplayer, graphic, story, since...
And right now, I feel that the production of video games in an overall perspective has not improved. It has gone downhill. But, I mean, graphics, I guess, yeah, they improved, but that doesn't really matter too much to me. So, there's that.
Yeah.
They just kind of downgraded themselves, honestly, especially with DLC. They fucking dropped the ball.
Oh.
Sparrow, you have to go where it says top chat and switch it to live chat. It's really stupid that YouTube did that, but you gotta do that to see it. Or, you know, you could just look on the stream window. I mean, you should be able to read it. Yeah, you can read it. Then again, it's somewhat hard to. But
yeah, I was on top chat too. I don't know what's the difference when they have live chat and top chat for.
Top chat shows like it shows approved comments, I guess. Live chat shows all, I think.
Oh, I guess whatever Viral TV put was an approved comment.
Yeah, it is a weird feature, Sparrow. I agree. Anyways,
yeah.
So yeah.
I did have another topic I want to talk about. I guess we can wait for next week. I guess, or wait for Friday's podcast. I want to talk about live streaming, but I guess I can wait since we're running out of time and Snick can't talk anyways.
Well, it seems like he fell asleep. Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, you want to talk about live streaming with both the Twitch live streaming, YouTube live streaming, other live streaming features, and how which one's better and stuff. But I guess we can save that for next week. Or
I definitely have something to say about that because I have experience in that, both platforms.
Apparently, Sparrow looked up what he wrote.
Oh well. Huh.
Yeah, but we'll also save it for Friday when Snick has more freedom to talk about things.
Yeah.
Alright. So, any final words? Snick, any final words? Either here or in the chat.
My final words, oh fuck, I had something and I lost it. Damn it.
Yay, Alloway.
Literally your comment is why I forgot about it, ironically. Yeah. Damn it, okay. Schnick made me go completely blank, so we might as well just end it.
Yeah, wrapping it up, video games have evolved since the beginning, and so have our channels. School grades, I guess they're important if you're continuing school, otherwise they're just a thing that keep us in our place.
College is fucking expensive, and to me, pointless.
Unless you're rich or have government connections.
That too.
And overall, I don't know how at least for Snick, our Discord experiment was a fail. It was bad because he couldn't leave his dorm room and he couldn't talk at all. So
at least we now know the reason why.
I guess if you don't like Snick's talking, then this was a great success.
Wow, that's a fucking roast.
But we'll probably go back to Skype next week. Probably go back to Skype Saturday unless Snick does Discord on his phone. But I think overall, I think the camera was better on here because you don't have to worry about it moving in places.
Yeah.
a lot, like we do with Skype. So camera-wise, I think Discord was a great success. Talking-wise, maybe not so much, at least at college campuses. Maybe it'd be different when Stick's at home and you can talk more freely. But without wandering the hallways and doing stuff,
We'll just have to see on Friday, I guess.
Yeah, well, but so far, I say the Discord experiment 60%. I don't know. What grade would you give it?
Well, I just think that. Well, you're obviously thinking that it didn't really work well because of just programming between Discord and Skype, but the thing that I'm still saying is that it's a networking thing where Schnick can't get a good connection when he leaves the dorm because, well, there could be some reasons, like maybe he's just too far away from the router from his dorm room, or the overall internet in the campus entirely just sucks. There's a multitude of things. So, but generally speaking, network is the big problem. If it wasn't for network, then we wouldn't have a problem.
He probably want to use his phone's cellular data.
Oh,
that takes a lot of stuff.
Oh, also phones and computers, in my opinion, don't really make much of a difference for this. But yeah,
I know for a fact before I got unlimited data, anytime I'm on Skype or whatever, or watching YouTube videos, it takes up a lot of data. Skype does.
Oh yeah.
But join us Friday. We talk about live stream. Maybe back on Skype. Maybe it's still on Discord. Who knows? We'll find out then. Until then, never stop learning and enjoy the randomness. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.